Good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're listening. I hope you had a wonderful day and happy Friday. So today is show 200. So again, technically it's 100, but I started at 200, or I started it at 100. So anyway, so this is episode 200, just technically 100, but happy 200. Oh my gosh, the silly things that we do and choose. So, what do you guys have planned for this weekend? What is up? Oh, you know what's funny? So I had some cards. I've got all my cards off to the side here, the oracle cards and stuff like that, and the soul coaching cards from Denise Lynn, Linn, were popping at me, and it was like, pick a card for everybody on the call today. And the one I got was adventure. It popped right out. So let's see what this card has to say. I know it's not Wednesdays, but hey, we can choose that. Okay, adventure. Oh, take risks. You're entering new frontiers and a period of expansions. Go beyond self-imposed limitations. Look at the world around you in new and different ways. Something exciting is just around the corner. Ha! So your soul wants you to know. Adventure entails risks, and without them, existence can become stagnant and lackluster. If your life seems uninspired in some ways, be willing to take risks and try something new. Don't wait until an amazing opportunity presents itself. Start with small adventures, and they will create momentum for a bigger and bolder ones. Try changing your hair color or style, or drive a different way to work. Oh, you rebel. If you're shy, walk up to a stranger and start talking. If you take small enough risks, soon your life will become a great and grand adventure. So the affirmation that they suggest is, wonderful new experiences fill my life. So, you know what I had actually wanted to talk about today was sleep. I personally, I really do enjoy sleep, and I love having a good nap. Of course, it triggers a yawn as I'm talking about it. Now, what's interesting is just recently I was at a function, and I overheard some people talking. And one was saying, I keep waking up at like 4:30 in the morning. Now keep in mind, so these people are in their 50s and their 70s, okay? And one person says, I keep waking up at like 4:30 in the morning. It's just so frustrating. And then the other person said, yeah, well, I know I keep waking up around 5:30. And you know what I found? It was just interesting. I love, I don't judge people with what they say. I find it interesting to listen to what we say, and that includes me. I'll listen to the stuff that comes out of this mouth, because that's actually information. And then I take that information and I'm like, I wonder what else is possible with this. Because what I noticed is, oh God, it's just the way where my head goes, guys. Okay, this is life living with Laurie in her mind. I was looking at it, and I was, because I've heard some things. Okay, sorry, because I've got like 10 things coming in my head at once. So I've heard from some people like that I've seen who do classes and stuff like that say, sleep is just a story. And then I'm like, well, but baby sleep, like I'm looking at my new granddaughter, she's spending a lot of time sleeping. She didn't come in pre-programmed to sleep. And I'm like, most of us, if we didn't sleep, we'd be a bunch of miserable cows running around this planet. So there's got to be something to it. Because, and then, so I started looking at it. And then with overhearing that conversation the other day, I was like, I wonder if it's how we've made a lot of conclusions or decisions and judgments about sleep. Like that we use sleep as an escape. And we also use sleep as a way to avoid life or to avoid dealing with things. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I know when I'm avoiding dealing with something, my body and my being gets me up in the middle of the night. or it won't let me sleep. And I wonder how many people have a hard time sleeping because their life, their body, their being wants them to deal with something that they actually want to deal with. But so many of us don't have the tools or didn't have the tools. Like, oh God, before I had some of these tools that I have, like asking questions, EMDR, like getting body work done, or access consciousness bars, or acupuncture, or EFT tapping, like havening. Like there's all these incredible tools that can help shift things that are in your life. Like how many of us have the idea that, well, nothing's ever going to change. Well, they're not going to change. Life isn't going to change. It's always going to be that way. And so with that, you never allow yourself the possibility of a possibility. And this does actually play into my conversation about sleep here. Because I know for myself, like there was places, well, actually, there was a lot of places where I didn't think that there was any possibility of a possibility. I didn't even know there was a possibility. And I remember chatting with a friend one time and they're like, yeah, but I mean, if a person knows they have possibilities, and I'm like, yeah, but that's the thing. I think a lot of people, I didn't, don't even know that there is possibilities. I heard myself say to my daughter the other day, we were visiting, and I was telling her how I'm noticing by doing this EMDR and this havening and other things that I'm having things change in my life that have bothered me for a long time, like for freaking ever. And I am having so much ease with them and in and around my body. And what I noticed is I heard myself say to her, I would kill to be able to help people know that they don't have to suffer. Like just recently, Marie knows of a friend of hers that had a really upsetting experience with her C-section. She just got like really, really anxious. Like everybody was taking care of her. She was taken care of, but her body just all of a sudden reacted. And in such a panicked way. And of course, that's what she remembers of her birth experience. And I now know, like, we don't have to suffer with these things. If you've had something that upset you like 25 years ago, you can use these techniques and these tools and processes, and you can change your life. And so going back to sleep, the more that I've chosen these tools, well, really, I have to say, it started with the belief that there was something possible. When I actually started to believe that there was something possible, I allowed myself to receive the possible. I am not kidding. Like, it's like when I didn't believe it was possible, the universe, God, source, whatever, made me right, and things weren't possible. And however things have changed, and I now believe that things are possible, seriously, I now receive change with things that I choose. It is so awesome. And I sleep so lovely now. Like, because often, like, I would be up in the night or I'd be up for a couple of hours, whatever. And during that time, a lot of times I would avoid processing or working on whatever, because again, there was really kind of like an underlying belief that things weren't possible, things wouldn't change. And when I started to change that and play with it anyways, and just even sit in the wonder, I wonder if this will change. I wonder if this is possible. And then allow myself the possibility. Well, in the playing of it, it started to create the change. So anyways, going back to this whole concept of sleep, I can see that when I was hurting, uncomfortable, hurting physically and emotionally and mentally, when I was frustrated or upset or whatever, sleep was awesome because it gives you that relief. And, even Abraham Hicks, if you guys have listened to them or not, like they'll say, go take a nap, because that's actually a way of finding relief within your body. And so what I noticed is with this whole concept of sleep is like, how are you using it? Are you using it to escape your life? And, when I heard those people talking about sleep the other day, I mean, I get it. like you wake up at 4:30 or 5:30 every day, and if you don't have questions, it can be a real frustrating thing. I want to sleep till 8, like whatever that gets you. But what if you asked yourself, like what's being asked of you? Does your life desire you to look at something that you would actually like to change? And that would be the time to do it when everyone else is sleeping and there's no one around to bother you. Is that the time to listen to a lovely book? Or is your body asking you to do something new, like meditate? Would that actually create greater for you in your body? And then the other thing is too, is that I notice, I hear people say, and is that, as life moves forward, the faster life goes, the faster it goes. And so that was actually, so if you think that like if the faster life goes, like the older you get, the faster it goes, and you're given these opportunities to be up 2-3 hours earlier, is that not a possibility to be able to experience and enjoy and love life? Like, is that not bad? Like to be able to, have fun with it. So, because how many of us, maybe if we're having a really good time in the middle of the day, wish we had more hours in the day? So the more hours show up at 4:30 in the morning or 5:30 in the morning or 6:30 in the morning for whatever time you're used to getting up. And what if that's a time for you to bring in new? And how much have we been like, I don't know about you, but I did not like being necessarily alone with myself. No, 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 no. Whatever that meant, I didn't, maybe I had judgments of myself that I didn't like myself. I didn't know what to do with myself. I was afraid of what I was going to find out because, with my judgments of myself, I didn't think a lot of myself. So why would I want to spend more time with me? I want to be distracted by life and being around other people, and whether it be work or a phone call or TV or whatever. And yeah. So now, like, I wonder, like, if you could look at the possibility of sleep as something different, and it's funny. There's this fella who lives out where I live, and people would say, because he owned a business out here, and he doesn't anymore, but when he did, and he could still be choosing this, right? But when he did, like, gosh, often he wasn't in bed till midnight, and he was up at 4. He was thriving. Like, I wonder when our lives, the more stress, the more heaviness, the more incongruent we are living with our life, because this fellow was working long hours, but you could tell he loved it. And he wasn't making it just work. He would coffee with customers, and he would do other things. He'd get to play in backhoes or I can't remember what those little things are called. And I wonder if we were busy living a congruent life with what actually creates energy in our life, in our body, what that would do and how much sleep we would actually need. Like, I just wonder, like, it'd be fun to play with. Like, this isn't an area to judge ourselves. I mean, this morning, was it last night? I think I went to bed at 10:30 and I didn't wake up till 7:30. 9 hours. Oh, it was a good one. It was so good. I loved it. And I wonder if we could have the awareness of what we're using sleep for, and just knowing if we're using it for avoidance, or are we using it to actually rest and recover in what our body requires? Or are we using it for relief because we're so stressed, we just need to go have a nap so we can break that momentum that's going, because you want to stop the momentum. If you've got yourself going on a crazy downhill spiral or slide, if a good nap is going to, stop it, then definitely use that to your advantage. So anyways, it just kind of got me thinking, like, do we have opportunities like being woken up at 4:30 and 5:30 in the morning, that this could actually gift us something, gift us the time that we've wanted with ourselves or to do something. And the opportunity is presenting itself. It's just showing up different than we expected. So what a fun conversation. Really, really interesting. So anyways, I hope you're living a life as much as you possibly can that's congruent with you and congruent with what's fun for you and what would be your energetic priorities. And yeah, keep having fun. And, back to the card that I pulled, people, for all of us, adventure. What adventure could you have this weekend? Affirmation. Wonderful new experiences. Fill my life. Okay, you guys. Have a good weekend. Have fun with your adventure and enjoy your sleep. Okay, take care. Big hugs. The Wealthy Lala at gmail.com.